Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kendra and sometimes I make planner videos. Today is one of those days. I have not been face-to-face talking to you guys in probably years, let's be real. So I thought, especially for this video, it would be fun to just sit down and have a little chit chat about planners, right? Came up with the idea with reacting to my old planner videos because I recently started going through the videos to get ideas for my rings. It's like the first time I've been back into rings in years. So I was just trying to get ideas for myself, I guess, as you do. I don't know if other people do that, but I do that. And that's when I realized that my first planner video was made in 2014. And therefore, I have been a part of this planner community for a decade. And while part of me is like, yeah, that makes sense, I'm also like, how is that even a thing that's possible? I went on Instagram and I was like, hey, do you guys think it'd be fun if maybe I did a reaction to my old planner videos? And 2 people said yes, so here I am. This first planner that we are jumping into, the story behind it is kind of crazy. Like, I had been looking for planners and I had no money. So anything I got, like my budget was like $20 maybe. And I happened to be at Goodwill Outlet and I found this Franklin Covey, and it's like an old one too. Like, this one was from the 90s. It originated, the retail price was originally $100 in like 1999, and I found it at Goodwill Outlet, probably paid like less than $2 for it. I think I say I paid $3 for it in the video, but no, for real, it was cheap. Let's just scroll to like what you see when you open it up, because this is really what shocked me the most, is just how ew. Ew. That's not my style. I mean, it's not me. But yeah, let's just go through it. So what I'm looking at here is just somebody who walked around their house, found crap to put into a binder, maybe went to Walmart. There's nothing wrong with these things, but the biggest thing I've realized over the years is the main reason I never stuck with planning or any planner system, it wasn't because the planner system didn't work. It was I just didn't know what my style was, like my aesthetics. Oh my gosh, the planner clips though. I was convinced that I was going to make money. I was gonna make an Etsy. I was gonna sell those little paper clips and other things. This is before people had like sticker shops. Also, I mentioned in this video how I could never stay in a black cover for very long because I don't like black covers. Everything in my life now is black. I do, in fact, love black covers, but and that washi tape I was just showing, everyone had that washi tape. So yeah, let's skip to like maybe where there actually is some planning going on. I was curious. I'm like, what inserts was I in? I think I took another planner that I showed in a different video, like a spiral bound planner, and I think I cut it up and I used that because I have no idea where I would have gotten these inserts. Oh, you know what? These might be the inserts in the budget binder, which was the first ever haul of planner stuff that I did, but I never set it up. So I'm thinking that's where these inserts came from. They're fine, they're lined, they're vertical, they're ugly. I would never use them now, not my style, but you know, when you're just getting into it, does it really matter? All right, so this was my first planner. Definitely not my aesthetic, not my vibes. It's gonna take a long time for us to get there, folks. I will say that. So let's move on to the next one. Moving right along, I was very obsessed with getting a Filofax. I remember this very fondly, or not fondly, vividly. I remember that I didn't feel like I was going to be a planner girl until I had a Filofax of some sort. So I remember begging my partner to pretty please get me a Filofax Saffiano because it was the cheapest one. They're still like, I will say there's actually some really cheap Filofaxes now. There's like $14 Filofaxes you can get off of Amazon. But back then, this was it. And it was still like $40. So like comparatively to like the $3 planner that I just showed you, it was a lot of money. But I was obsessed. I had to have it. And why did I get a Saffiano in poppy red? Why? So this charm, I remember I made a DIY. It might still be up. A lot of these videos, by the way, are privated because they're just embarrassing. But I'm also like checking out my nails. Like, how did I do that? Is that like a nail sticker? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. It's been a decade. Do you think I remember? No. But yeah, these planner charms I made by just getting charms and attaching them to like fish hook things, like the things that I don't know, my boyfriend at the time was into fishing, so they were around and I did a DIY on that. But anyways, to say that I was obsessed with vintage cameras and anything that looked like a camera was an understatement at the time. That was probably like my go-to aesthetic. I mean, it was, 2014. I was on Tumblr. All of us Tumblr girlies loved a good vintage camera. By the way, if you're wondering how old I was 28 at the time. I'm 38 now. So loved us some aesthetically Tumblr things. I do remember liking the dividers in this setup. What's with the pocket? Like, there's nothing in there. It's barren. I think I used this planner for a month. I recently just donated it. I've had it for 10 years. I tried to sell it so many times to destash it. Nobody wants to buy a Saffiano. And actually the fake leather is like rotting away off of it now. So long term, and I've stored it nicely, long term, Saffianos do not hold up. So that was my beautiful little Saffiano.
I wanted to show you guys this traveler's notebook that I made. I watched a few videos, but I didn't necessarily follow any tutorials on how to make these. I just kind of went with what I had to work with. When I say I DIY'd this, I DIY'd everything from the cover to any like embellishments that you...
I let that intro play out because was I a 12-year-old? Why was I afraid of like the neighbors hearing me? I have no idea what was going on with my voice. I remember that hoodie that I'm wearing. I can see the sleeves. I wore that hoodie, like, that hoodie was my life until I think I got rid of it like the year my son was born. I freaking love that hoodie. Anyways, so this in the title is not called a traveler's notebook. It's called a Fedori because everybody was into calling things a Fobonichi or a Fedori. Like if you made like something that was like a Hobonichi Weeks, or actually I don't even think Hobonichi Weeks were like a big thing then or even existed at all. I don't know. But like a Hobonichi cousin or something, you call it a Fobonichi. And if you made something that was a traveler's notebook, you called it a Fedori because it was a traveler's notebook company was Midori back then. And this cover took me, I probably spent like 72 hours on it in total. There's no sewing in it whatsoever and not a single stitch. It was all like glued together with fabric and it's like suede. And then making the inserts, I sat there and I cut them with like rulers and they are jagged and nasty looking. And the colors, oh my god. I mean, there we go. We have another vintage camera. Take a shot every time you see a vintage camera in one of my setups because it'll probably be there very often. Look how floppy this thing is. It's so like squishy. I mean, it felt nice in the hands because it was, a nice fabric. Yeah, all of these inserts I made by hand. They don't look good. I think I sewed these. I would never do that again. Like if you're gonna make your own inserts, buy one of those long reach staplers. Save yourself the time and effort on that because yeah, it was, I would still think that's a pain in the butt. Also, I would never make my own inserts again. I will print inserts, but I would never like make a booklet again. That's just too much work. I can go anywhere and find a booklet that's gonna fit into a traveler's notebook if I want to. That's not an issue. I'm trying to see if at any point, I don't think I talk about it, but I know a big thing that got me into traveler's notebooks and this whole like journaling system and things like that was definitely the Reset Girl, which I'm not gonna get into that. Let's say a little problematic. There hasn't been a lot of controversy in the planner community, but there's been a few instances where there's been some problematic things, and that was one of them. Yeah, I spent all the time on this, and then I hated it, and I don't think I ever used it. I just set it up, and I never used it. So let's let's move on to the next one. I'm pretty sure I did another, yep, I did another DIY full Bonichi. This one turned out a lot better because I think I made better inserts for it. It was like actually to size of like a Midori, and I got a pleather for it that was more like a leather, so it was like more substantial. You know, I think this looks good. I think it looks like a Fedori or like a traveler's notebook. Oh my gosh, do you see that card? When the Hunger Games came out, you could go online and pay $1 and get your like identification card for the Hunger Games. I wish I still had that. That's like a collector's piece. Oh, here we go. This is when I talk about Lister's Got a List. I had never done anything like that before. I really got into it. I never finished it. But yeah, Lister's Got a List did get me into like the planner community. And I've got DIYs going on in here. I've got folders I made, like little watercolor stickers, just very bright and fun. And not that I don't like bright and fun. That's, I mean, there's a time and a place for everything, right? Wait. Oh, bottoms up. There's some more vintage cameras. I remember that scrapbooking paper. I loved that one. I couldn't tell you who it was from. But let's get to like the planning. It looks like a lot of like bullet journal, bucket lists, just a lot of lists. I like lists. I'm still a list maker. That's like 90% of my planning is just making a list. I don't think I used this very long. I'm sorry. Sorry if you liked it. Don't think I used it very long. Here it is, folks. Here's the moment. This was a big deal for me in my planner journey because, like I said, I was very much obsessed with having a Filofax. And I mean, not to say that I had FOMO or something, but I did feel a little bit inadequate not having like a nicer Filofax. So I became obsessed with getting either a Finsbury or a Malden, and I ended up getting a Malden. I remember I saved up money a long time to get this Malden, and I was really excited because there was a good deal on Amazon. And let me tell you, if there's a good deal on Amazon on a Filofax, run, because it's away. Don't buy it. It's probably going to come with janky rings or messed up cover. This planner came with rings so mangled. I wish I had the pictures. I wish I had to put the pictures in this setup. I was devastated. And then my dad's like, hey, let me look at that. And this dude just fixes the rings. Like, he bent them back into place and they were fine. I actually ended up selling this cover. Eventually, most of my covers I end up selling because like I want to fund a new cover. So I don't know. Shout out to my dad back in, what year was this? 9 years ago. So this would have been 2015. Shout out to my dad for fixing this planner because I was devastated. I was a 29-year-old woman crying because her planner rings were bent. But you know, whatever. I saved up a lot of money. It's all right. And I had people saying like, well, why didn't you send it back? And I was just like convinced it would just keep happening. I had a lot of anxiety about it. I'm like, it happened to me once, it's gonna happen again. I have bad luck. Spoiler alert, I do have bad luck. So that was a fair assessment. But I don't know. I was just like, well, here was a real thing. If I sent it back, the price had gone up from when I got it, and I couldn't afford to get another one with the refund. So that was really what it was. Is like, this is the only one I could afford to get. Oh, I do. Look at, oh my gosh, look how bad these rings were. Do you know how devastated I was? Like, I was filming an unboxing and I opened it to that. I wish I still had that video because like gold, like absolutely gold. Like, oh my God, it is so bad. But obviously I fixed it. And looking at this now, I'm like, yeah, I was trying to emulate every other planner girly out there. I could tell I need some undo because the flyleaf still has the Filofax sticker on and it wouldn't come off and it was so sticky. If I had some undo, it wouldn't be a problem. Like the page flags, the washi samples, the Target dollar spot pen. That I love that postcard that's there that kind of acts as my dashboard. That was from Paper Chase. That was a really pretty thing, but And it is a pretty setup. Like, it looks nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate it, but it's just, it's not for me. And the planning system itself, I'm just using the Filofax inserts. I hate Filofax insert, oh, the old ones, because they're blue. I'm like, why are you making it blue? Make it neutral. A lot of their inserts now are neutral. And I'm pretty sure I made my dividers from like Target Dollar Spot folders that I just like, file folders that I cut down. Do we remember the madness of the Target Dollar Spot? I remember like I would go there and lift the bottom shelves to see if page flags and various things had fallen under, because we were so obsessed with finding like old ones. And I actually did find some stuff, and I resold it for a really good profit. Like, I was getting like $10 for page flags that I found that were like a year old. We were obsessed. And when was the last time Target gave us planner girlies? Anything. I feel like the planner girls and planner boys made the Target Dollar Spot, because until we started making videos about like the stationery that you could find, it wasn't like something like, I remember the first time ever seeing a Target Dollar Spot, it was when I was in Oregon, so that would have been like in 2008. We made the Target Dollar. We made Bullseye's Playground. Bring us some new stuff. Every once in a while they'll have like note cards or something, but page flags, first and foremost, crap. They're crap. They suck. Like, they don't stick to anything. I always had to run them through my Xyron or something to use them, or use a glue stick. But if they had them now and they were in cute designs, I'd probably still buy them. That's pretty bad, but it's true. But yeah, we made the Target Dollar Spot. Sorry for that rant, but that was my Malden. And I probably would have stayed in it for a very long time had I not discovered Chic Sparrow. So, you know what's coming next. You know what's coming next. Here we go into some, like, I finally started getting into some very expensive planning systems. This was an influence because I started watching like Allie Brown, Talks from the Frat House. I'm trying to think of like who I watched back then a lot. Inky Quill, that was another one that I watched a lot back then. And everybody had a Chic Sparrow. And because everyone had a Chic Sparrow, I had to have a Chic Sparrow. A Chic Sparrow. And so I went with this one. This was a creme brulee. It was the black one. What would that be? I don't remember. It was a black creme brulee. It was beautiful. Look at it. Like, I love the contrast, the stitching. I wish I still owned this. And I wish I could repurchase this for the price that I got it for back then. So this was that was 8 years ago. So it would have been like 2016. I think I paid like $50, maybe $40 for this thing. And it is just so beautiful. I will say, looking at it now, it is very thick. That is a thick. She a thick cover, but I didn't care. I didn't know. Like, I don't know. The texture, it's so beautiful. I need to get a Chic Sparrow. This is bad. See, this is when I start getting into stuff that's like adjacent to what I like now, and I'm like, do I need that again? No, you don't need it. It's like when you see a baby. You're like, look at that cute baby. I want that baby. No, you don't. You have a baby. You don't need it. I have a 5-year-old, but oh my gosh, I'm just looking at it again, and thick. But yeah, so I think on the video I say it's a field note. I think that's a pocket. And this is when I started working, so I finally had something to plan. My entire planner journey, I was like a stay-at-home girlfriend. I didn't have shit to plan. I had to like, okay, this is what we're gonna eat, and this is what we're going grocery shopping for. That was it. That was my plans. We didn't go do anything really. Like, every time we go like on a trip or something, I had nothing to plan. So it begs the question, like, why was I even in this community to begin with? But here we go. I like analog planning. If even like today, if I don't have anything to do, I still want to put pen to paper. So it's fine. You don't have to have a plan to plan. You don't have to have a life to plan. Don't listen to me. Anyways, this setup is mostly field notes, inserts, pen to paper. I know there's like a yellow paper house insert in here. I was very big on yellow paper house for a very long time. Like, if I was going to buy any kind of traveler's notebook insert, it was going to be from Yellow Paper House, and they still have great stuff. So if you're still looking for something great, Yellow Paper House. And see, we're starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, this is cute. Another thing you'll see a lot in my setups is that bunny clip. I got it in a blind bag. and I just loved it, and I put it in everything. So you'll see a lot of cameras, and that bunny clips pops up all the time. It's probably only shown up once so far, but I remember it being in like every setup that I had. And I'm looking, and I was using a fountain pen, so very much influenced by other people on that one, because I don't really like fountain pens. I'm sorry, I've never had a good one. I should say that, like, I've never had like a high-end one, so it might be because of that, but not my thing. That's a Pilot Preppy. If I was gonna get a fountain pen and use it, it'd probably be one of those. The disposable ones are pretty nice. But yeah, what can I say? I liked it. I'm pretty sure this is when I discovered bullet journaling, if I like skip around a little bit. Lists, bullet journaling, lots of Smashbook products. I remember being obsessed with finding Smashbook products at like Tuesday Morning and TJ Maxx and Home Goods and things like that, because I'm guessing like Smashbook was popular probably like a couple years before then, and so by then it was like cheap to find. Yeah, I mean, safe to say my style has changed a lot. Okay, so I think that's where I'm gonna finish the video for today, because it's already getting kind of long and I'm already dreading editing this video and figuring out how to like do what I need to do to get this video to be what I want it to be. I still have like a whole more like 5 more years of a planner journey on my channel. If you guys would like me to react to like the rest of where I started from to where I am now in my planners, let me know. I'm down for it. I've got lots of free time coming up here soon. I think the biggest thing that I've learned over the last 3 years in my planner journey, and this isn't just like a planner journey thing, this is like a me thing, is I strived for so many years to be the norm, to fit in, to be like everybody else. And, you know, a lot of that has to do with, you know, I'm on the spectrum and I've spent my entire life masking. And something about having a kid and having a kid that is also on the spectrum really just makes you like reflect and want to stop pleasing people, because I don't want him to ever feel like he has to like do things a certain way because he wants to be like everybody else. I just want him to be him, and I want me to be me. And so like I have changed so much, my style, my attitude, the way I stand up to people. A lot has changed in the last 5 years since I had my son. And something about like just becoming comfortable within myself and being able to express myself in the way that I want to, dress the way that I want to, decorate my planners the way that I want to, is so freeing, and in the end makes me excited to like go to my planners. I'm obsessed with my planners. They're like my happy place. They've actually been back here the entire video. These are 2 of them. These are my babies right now. My rings and my weeks. I'm obsessed with them. I like to flip them and they make me happy, and I love making things for them, and I love decorating them. Here we go, a little sneaky peeky. Not really, because the video before this you've seen all of these, but it's just, so here's what I have to say. Find out what makes you happy, and the more that you put into your planners that makes you happy, the more you're going to want to be in your planners. And that's it. That's my little tip from somebody that planner hopped obsessively for like 7 years. It's just to put yourself into your planner, put what you love, what makes you happy, and you'll be fine. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me today. I'm having a lot of fun getting back into YouTube and Instagram. Please go follow my Instagram if you haven't already. Follow me here on YouTube, subscribe, like this video, all that fun stuff. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If any of those videos are still like available to the public, which I don't think many of them are, but the few that are, I will have those linked down below as well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any video that you'd like me to make, let me know, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.